in the head with a hammer. But that's what aberrant people are into. They like the power of blowing up countries. They like the power of robbing banks. They like the power of kidnapping kids. They're screwed up. And those of us that aren't aberrant, I mean, we still get angry and still have problems and still think bad things, whatever. But we're guilty about it. When I get mad at somebody and imagine punching them in the nose, I'm literally like, that's not right. You shouldn't be like that. The point is, these evil people are into not feeling bad, not having a conscience, not having a governor psychologically in them. And those of us that aren't evil, who aren't inherently lovers of evil, all of us are evil to a certain extent. We're also good to a certain extent. We're mixed. We're complex creatures. We can't imagine people want to do this. I mean, that's what psychologists, police always say when they find a tank full of 5 dead kids, in somebody's refrigerator. And it's like, why? The cops will ask the guy, well, they're taking him to jail, why the hell did you do this? Why grab 5-year-olds off the street and torture them? Why are you asking why? It's a psychopath. Stop being naive. Stop thinking bad things can't happen just because you wouldn't do them, okay? I mean, I don't know why. When I was like 11 years old, I got off the school bus, and some older kids came over and said, you want to play baseball? And I said, yeah. And I went and got my baseball bat and my mitt, and I walked down to the woods where they beat me up for an hour. And it's like, why? Because they're little cowardly people who are 4 or 5 years older who want to beat somebody up. It doesn't matter. I'm not a vindictive person, but I happen to run into most of them in the next few years. And you know what? Some of them aren't the same today, and I'm not proud of that, by the way. But the point is that we need people to stop being so childlike. We need people to stop being so naive. When I was a child, I was a child. But as I became a man, I gave up the things of a child. And I've certainly taken on the things of a man, the good, the bad, and the ugly. Why do men do what they do? I didn't know why men did what they did when I was a little kid. Now I understand it. I don't know why. It's what we do. You know what I mean? The good, the bad, and the ugly. But when I was a child, I was a child. But when I became a man, I gave up the things of a child. And you need to stop being childlike, folks. That's the key to defeating the globalists. Mike Adams is coming up. We're going to go to this piece here. What's the piece we're going to before we come back with Adams? Oh, Zach in Houston. Go ahead, Zach. I'm sorry. I didn't see you there. Sorry, I apologize. Go ahead.
Alexander, I got a money-bomb word route for you.
Okay.
Yeah! I'm the dude. I gave you the American Silver Eagle in Houston Federal Reserve.
Well, thank you, sir. Silver
coin. Hell yeah. Hey, congratulations and thanks for waking us all up. I've burned over 5,000 DVDs since 2008 of your stuff, and I'm just happy to be a donor to the Money Bomb. I donate to Ron Paul. Last year I threw you $800. I do AC. I scrapped all my scrap metal, and you got it all, brother, and we get it all,
No, wait a minute. I want you to spend your scrap metal money on making copies of my DVDs and giving them to people, but don't save your scrap metal to give it to us here, because then I'll feel guilty when I order the crew food or something, because I'll be realizing people are giving everything they got so we can sit around and eat pizza here, but I like to take care of the crew, but I mean, listen, going back to this, the power of you, Zach, the power of you making thousands of DVDs of my films and giving them out, that's innumerable. And here's the problem. They're coming out with new DVD players and computers where if it's not stamped by a company, it won't even work. As if you have something pirated just because you copied something. Again, they're scared. Everything's being built in with spy systems. So, folks, use the Internet.
I got one more.
No, I'm going to let you finish. But, folks, use the Internet, use the DVDs, use everything while we still got it. We probably aren't always going to have it. FEMA, in 6 days, is practicing a total takeover of all the media. Go ahead. Sorry.
No, I wanted to call in the other day, but I was working and believe me, I make plenty on the air conditioning. The scrap metal is just lining you up. No, I went in there and I wanted to call you when you asked about what's our take on Fast and Furious, and no one will call and bring up the topic. My deal is, what about when they use the illegal immigrant to shut down the Austin gun show? I mean, it's the exact same, you know, the same.
No. Go back to that a year and a half ago. I said this is a Justice Department program using the threat of Mexico to take the guns. They've given press conferences. We've got all the proof. And it turned out all over the U.S., they used illegal immigrants that they'd busted in ICE raids, who they said will make you legal if you go do this. And they'd go around all day with fake IDs till they found an American to sell them a gun. You know, a private sale. And, yeah, that was set up. I'm glad you brought that up. Remind people of that.
Exactly. Well, I'll let you get off here so you can get on with it.
No, but go back to the time. I mean, go back to the time that happened.
What do you mean? Sorry.
No, tell the rest of the story for folks that forgot.
Oh, yeah. They sent there was a private buy, which is perfectly legal, that happened at a gun show in Austin. They sent in a undercover agent, but it was a Mexican national and illegal that was here and had been apprehended before. And they gave him, he had a legal Texas identification card. And he went in, presented it. The guy did everything legally and lawfully. He said, hey, you know, like, you'll go into a gun show, some guy will just sell you a gun, won't ask for nothing. And that's fine. But then this guy said, no, I want to see your ID, because he was probably kind of suspicious. The guy gives him the ID. He writes down the info. It's Texas. It's valid. It's in date. And I'll be damned if it wasn't a phony law enforcement officer, and a total straw man operation, just like they did to Selly. And it's disgusting the way they want to do this. That's why everybody needs to arm themselves to the teeth, in my opinion.
No, we have a criminal government that is doing this with Mexico to get our guns so that this piece of trash can have our weapons. And we've got to just get the word out. These are crooks, and stop. When young women would get in the car with Ted Bundy because they said he was wearing a suit, driving a non-threatening Volkswagen, and he'd torture the hell out of them. These are criminal scum who've been caught. They need to go to prison. They're illegitimate. I appreciate you, Zach. God bless you. I appreciate your support. We're going to go to this little piece of newscast and come back with Mike Adams for the next hour and a half at least. He'll cover the news, have his guest on, and take your calls. He's got breaking news. Hey, no rest for the hillbilly, though. I'm going to get out there, and I'm going to go over some of this news when I get back. And then David Icke was saying, I want to be on at 8 o'clock New Zealand time, and then it was 10 o'clock New Zealand time, so he'll probably be on later. He's been late before and gotten time zones screwed up. Who couldn't? He's on, you know, he's 10,000 whatever miles away or whatever, or more. New Zealand's on the total other side. Is that 12,000 miles? I forget. He's on the other side of the globe. We're working on that. We got Gerald Salente coming up a lot more, but Mike Adams is coming in here after this break, and then I'll continue with your phone calls and a lot more and a lot of news. So that's all coming up. It's InfoWarsMoneyBomb.com. Bare minimum, spread the word about the free video links at Infowars.com or InfoWarsMoneyBomb.com or PrisonPlanet.tv. And donate. I want to thank folks that have donated. Thank you so much. With that $100,000 plus that's come in, we can hire a couple crew members and buy some of the equipment we need, but we need to raise the $500,000 to really kick it into high gear. Or I can burn through the little bit of reserves we've got. Everything's going to hell in a handbasket. Whatever. Point is, it's your voluntary right to give to this if you believe in it. InfoWarsMoneyBomb.com. We'll be back with Mike Adams, the Health Ranger of NaturalNews.com. Stay with us.
Is this the first time you've ever seen the mural?
No, I'm actually, I live here, so I come through and check it out every now and then. I'm taking pictures. I read about it online, looked it up.
What do you think it means?
I can only tell you what I read. Basically, it seems like there's a soldier cutting through the dove of peace, and his sword is an Arabian sword. I'm not sure about the women and the angel type things. And the towers here, very familiar to a lot of people. Kind of look like 911 towers. So,
I could see that.
I don't know, strange thing to have in this airport.
What are your thoughts when you see something like this?
I think it's very well done. It's impactful. Color scheme's great. Theme seems a little austere for an airport, but...
You don't think there's a nefarious hidden agenda, hidden meaning behind it or anything like that?
Yeah, I don't know. I've heard that theory a lot. Maybe, you know, the underground prisons under Denver or DIA, all that stuff. Could be. I'm a little skeptical.
So this is the first time you've ever seen this mural?
Yeah, the first time I've ever seen it.
Let's take a look. I mean, what are your thoughts when you look at something like that? Do you think it's kind of an odd mural to be put in an airport? Or
Not necessarily. I think it explains a lot.
Okay, such as?
Such as just, I mean, America and everything else. There's a lot going on in the world right now, and it pretty much shows what's going on. There's a night, he's taking care of things. There's people that are suffering, and he looks like he's taking over and taking care of it.
So he's like a protector, you think?
I think he's a protector. I mean, you're wearing a gas mask and you have a sword in your hand. What else are you doing?
Is this the first time you've ever seen the mural?
Yes, it is.
I've seen it on the internet before.
All right, so you've seen it on the internet, and I saw you turn the corner, you're like, oh my God, here it is. So, all right, so what are your thoughts on it?
I've heard some theories where there's like an underground facility in this airport. It's just like really dark and kind of scary looking.
It is a little creepy looking, yeah.
Machine gun wielding.
And the crying innocence in the background. Yeah, it's kind of creepy.
Fleeing? That's real creepy.
Oh, it's just, I mean, this is kind of sad, obviously. A kid who died in Auschwitz, 14 years old.
Yeah.
That, basically their childhood was taken away from them through everything they went through, it looks like. They hate enemies. They hope that one day they'll be able to wake up and laugh again. It's sad that there's people out there that think like that.
Some people say it's put here to kind of distract people from what really goes on in DIA.
Don't you think it's an odd place to put a mural like this in an international airport? I mean, it's kind of weird, isn't it?
It is. I
mean, if you wanted to send a message to someone, I mean, it's kind of the best place.
So do you think this is more of an artistic endeavor, with the symbolism and everything? This guy kind of looks like a Nazi, but is there any hidden meanings, a dark hidden meaning, or is this more kind of an artistic piece,
I'm not someone who looks at things in a dark, hidden type of way, so to me, I don't look at it like that. The most disturbing piece of this whole thing is just that. That's what gets me the most.
What about the rumors that there's a whole underground type of bunker here? Have you heard those as well?
Those?
Do you think there's any truth to that?
Definitely possible. More possible than what they give you on the news.
It looks funny the way that you can see when you're coming in. You can see that there's construction's been over for years here, but there's construction everywhere, all over, going on the grounds of the airport.
Continuous construction at all
constantly,
times.
and you can see them actually working up, because once it's a hill and it'll have a road that goes around it, and you come back a year later and there's two roads because the hill's kind of moved up, as if the hills are expanding upwards.
Yeah. You think it's an odd place to have a mural like this in an international airport?
Absolutely. I don't know what its place is here or why it's here. It's definitely not something you expect to see walking through an airport, though.
I hear you.
Hundreds of nations have fallen to tyranny in the last century alone. This is our last chance to not relive history.
As they're finishing off this agenda, they'll be pulling the rug from underneath Americans at home.
I have tremendous influence on our president and Congress, and they really are calling the shots.
I think it's incumbent upon all of us as American citizens to pay attention.
Fall of the Republic identifies the enemies of our nation, the criminal offshore cartel, hell-bent on destroying sovereignty, and on its ashes constructing world government.
Tim Geithner, Bernanke, they're arsonists. They're asking for more matches. And the Congress is saying, who do we make the check out to?
Today, seems like nobody does care. And right now in Washington, D.C., we have seen a fall of the Republic.
Get your copy of Fall of the Republic on DVD at Infowars.com or watch it online right now in super high quality at prisonplanet.tv.
We now take you live to the Central Texas Command Center in the heart of the resistance. You're listening to The Alex Jones Show.
I tell you, as we get more and more dependent on computers, it really illustrates the problems that we face as a society. Because David Icke is in the other side of the world, I think it's New Zealand. For an hour, he's been sending us his phone number, because when he got up in the morning, he was going to give it to us, and it's not come through our email. So here he is, 45 minutes later than he would have been, and he's been sending it. And I've seen that with emails at my home, here, you name it. It's like they're going somewhere first, and then I get them later. It's just amazing. And they admit they're going through these. So who knows what's been going on. We're going to talk to David for about 30, 40 minutes, and then Mike Adams will be here for 2 hours on them arresting people selling raw milk. Now they're going after folks drinking it like it's PCP or something. You know, they've got to destroy it first. Mike, you're going to be back in about 30, 40 minutes after we talk to David.